In this video, I'm going to show you how to install Android Studio. Download Android Studio. There we go. Click that. And we're going to go to the developer.android link there. And it brings us here. And you'll see here, this is where all the information about the features, user guide, and so forth about Android Studio, this is where you're going to find. Okay. What we're interested in right now is to download the Android Studio here. So click on Download Android Studio. And of course, you have to accept a few things here. Okay. So I have read and agree with the above terms and conditions. Click that, and then this will turn color. Then click download. It will take a few minutes. It says here we're going to launch our .executable file, and we'll follow the wizard steps to install Android Studio and of course any necessary SDK tools. And it says here that's it. If you wanted to watch this video, go ahead and play, and gives you all of that information there, which is exactly what we are going to be doing in a second here. And there we go. We have our Android Studio executable. So double click. Please wait while setup is loading, verifying installer. There we go. We should have this now. Do you want to allow this? Yes, indeed. And we will start our installing process here. So we're going to go ahead and say next. All right, so we're going to install all of these because that's important. Next. We're going to create a shortcut as well. So install. All right, so it says completed here. Go next. And we're going to go say finish, which will start our Android Studio. Well, it seems like we need to do the same thing here. So in this case, we are just going to say, I do not have a previous version of Studio. So say OK. And now our Android Studio is booting up. All right, so we're going to just go ahead and say next. Standard is fine. Say next. And all of this looks fine. We're going to go ahead and say finish. And now it's going to go ahead and download some components that will allow us to have our Android Studio set up properly. That way we can start building applications. All right, so as you can see here, all these components were downloaded. Next thing we're going to do is just say finish. And this will pop up. We're going to say start new Android Studio project. Click on that. And there we go. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to give a name here, say application name. We're going to say hello Android. And for a company domain here, this is fine. And we'll talk more about this as you progress in this course. But for now, just leave as it is. And where project location, you can change where you want your projects to be saved. In this case, I'm okay with where this is. So I'm going to go ahead and say next. And for now, I'm going to just have this phone and tablet. And if you click here, you can see different versions of Android. So we're going to just keep at 4.3. In fact, let's go up a little bit, perhaps to 21. That seems to be the best. Okay, say next. And the moment you say next, it will go ahead and install a few other things that it needs in order to run that version of Android. And then we're going to go ahead and say next again. And now here we are going to select which activity we want to add to our project. Empty activity is fine. We're going to go say next again. And this is the name of the activity. We usually leave it main activity as it is. And we are going to say, you can't quite see here, can you? There's this finish here. Let me make it a little bit bigger here. Okay, I'm going to say finish. Start creating our Android project. All right, and after a little bit, you may end up with this problem here. Windows Firewall has blocked some features of this app. What we need to do is just say allow access. Okay, say allow access, and this will continue. And again, it may take a little while, being it the first time. And what do you know? Our Android Studio is now creating our project. Okay, so there we go. It opened, and you can see at the bottom here, it says it's still working in the background to make sure all of the dependencies, all of the files are set up for us. And then we have this tip of the day. Okay, this is something that pops up every time Android Studio opens, so you can deselect it if you don't want to see this. But if otherwise, you just keep it selected. In this case, I'm just going to deselect it and say close, and give it a little bit of time for all of these processes to finish. But now that we have all of that, at the top we see here this green play button here. So click on that, and since this is our first time running our program, our Android Studio, we need to connect a device, or in this case we can create a virtual device. So a virtual device is an emulator that allows us to see our apps running on it. So as we develop applications, we want a way to run our applications and see how they are behaving or looking. So think of this virtual device or simulator as a device that allows us interact with the application and run it as if we were running on an actual device. So for that, we need to create a new device. So say create new device. And then we have here, what we need is a phone. And we have a few specifications here. We can say we want Nexus 5X, and we have the resolution and all of that. So what we're going to do, we're going to say next. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get the first one, Nougat. Okay, and we're going to say next. And that's fine with the name. We're going to go ahead and say finish. And now you see we have available virtual devices here. We have one. So in this case here, we're going to use the first one. Say okay. So one thing we need to do here is let's go to our SDK manager, this button at the top. Click on that. It brings us back here. Now, so in this tab here, SDK platforms, we have Android 7.1.1 Nougat, which is the latest one that I have installed. That's fine. However, if you go at the bottom here where it says show package details, click on that, you'll notice something very interesting. It turns out it installed all of that stuff that we needed, except it did not install other things or other packages that are very important for us to have, right? So what do we need to do here? Let's just click on all of these that are not installed. Okay. And we are going to install them. We're going to say okay. And we're going to apply. So what this is going to do is it's going to go ahead and install all of those items that we don't have. They will all be installed, which is very important. Okay, so say next. And it may take a few minutes, so we're going to wait for that, and then I'll be back once all of those are installed. Now, as you can see here, for me, it failed because it says that there's not enough space on my disk. In your case, you should have enough space, and just let it install all of those packages, and once it's done, you should be able to run your emulator. Okay, the most important lesson here is that you always want to install everything, right? As I showed you here, I'm going to cancel this because it's not going to do anything. You always want to, whenever you install a certain package, in this case 7.1.1, you want to click show package details, so that way you can click on all of the other ones that are very important for us to be able to run the applications, if that makes any sense. That's very important, which also means if next time you want to install the 7.0, which is a lower version, make sure you show package details. You click on this so you are able to click on all, select all of these in middle inside as well. Okay, same with other ones, always. That's very important. All right. Okay, so at least in this video, I was able to show you how to create a project. And I apologize, my Windows doesn't have enough space here, so that's the reason why I'm not able to install all of the other packages. But you should be able to do that. And if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to ask them in the forum. All right, perfect. I'll see you in the next video.